Hi, my name is Carissa and welcome to another video. In this one I thought I'd explore book series that I need to finish in 2017. I noticed when I was reading Traitor's Blade by Sebastien de Castell that I have started quite a few series this year and I have not either finished them or got up to the current book that has been released. So this is me discussing the books that I want to read, and without further ado, let's just get into it. So the first book I'm going to talk about is one that I'm currently reading, and it is Lightbringer series by Brent. This is the second book in the series and it is called The Blinding Knife, the first one being The Black Prison. It is basically about this guy called Gavin, who is the most powerful man in the land, and he discovers he has a son. And it's a big epic fantasy series and there's a lot of different kind of twists and turns going on throughout it. And I enjoyed the first one, but I just felt like it was too much of a setup for the next one, which has turned out to be true, because this one I've gone into so much easier than I did the first one. And the first one I just felt dragged, but I needed to finish it off. I've heard such amazing things about this series and now I can kind of understand why, because I am really enjoying the second one so far. There is currently 4 books in this series. I own 1, 2 and 4. So I needed to get back into it. I'm very glad I did. So I don't think I'm going to finish this series by 2017, I just want to kind of get back into it. So I'm hoping to get this one read and maybe start on the third one as well by the end of 2017. So that is Lightbringer series by Brent. The next book I've got here is a very popular one, and it's Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I enjoyed Six of Crows, but I had my issues with it. Mainly the plot I thought was very bland. I liked the characters, I thought they were well developed, but the plot just really didn't do anything for me. It just felt too easy and too boring. If you're unaware of the series, the first one is called Six of Crows, and it's about this group of 6 young people who go to break a man out of prison, and it's led by this guy called Kaz, who's kind of a backstabber, but at the same time, once you explore his kind of past and everything, you can understand why he is the way he is. And I need to get back into this one. There are only 2 books in the series and this is the second one, so I feel this would be quite an easy one to finish off this year because it's just 1 book left. But at the moment I just don't really have a desire to pick it up, which is a bit annoying, but hopefully I will get this read by the end of 2017. Because I need to finish another series desperately. So Crooked Kingdom, the second book in the Six of Crows duology. So the next book I've got here is the chunkiest one on this list, and it is The Wise Man's Fear by Rothfuss. This is the second book in the Kingkiller Chronicles, and I really enjoyed the first book, which is The Name of the Wind. I did feel it kind of lost momentum a little bit, but I really want to get back into the series. I just felt like I needed a break because the first one is basically a coming of age story and it revolves around this man called Kafothe, at least that's how I've been pronouncing his name this whole time, and he is basically telling his story. So it's from him being a child and kind of growing up and having to overcome trials and tribulations and discover powers and things like that. It was very hard going, the first book, which is why I feel I need a break from it. But I do want to get back into this world. This one is just a bit intimidating because it's really long. It's nearly 1,000 pages long, so it's very daunting to get back into. So I want to get to this by the end of the year. I don't know whether I will because it is 900 plus pages, but we'll see. It might be a Christmas read or something like that, which I could just dive into. But yes, next one on this list is The Wise Man's Fear by Rothfuss, the second book in the Kingkiller Chronicles. So the next one in this list is one that I actually completely forgot about until I looked at my bookshelf, and it's the third book in the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. I only own the physical copy of the second book, but I read the first 2 on audiobook, which I highly recommend. There's a whole cast for it and it is wonderful. I enjoyed the second one immensely, I loved it. So if you aren't aware, this is about a princess called Leigh, and she's betrothed to marry this prince, but she runs away and decides to live a normal life. Little does she know that the prince himself and an assassin have come after her, and you don't know in the first book which one is the assassin and which one is the prince, and it is very, very good. It's a very good series for someone who wants like a lot of romance and just that bit of fantasy within it. I just haven't read the third one though. I started it on audiobook, but I was probably like 1 or 2 hours into it, but I have not finished it. And looking at this makes me realise that I need to finish it, because I did love the second one especially. I can't give anything away for the second one because it is like huge spoilers for the second one, and who my favourite male character is, because that's also spoilers, although the one I like is the one that she likes, so I'm like, that's fine. But I need to get back into this. I've not been in the mood for like a romance book recently, but I need to get back into it because Leah is like badass, and it's a really like quick feel-good kind of series. So the next one I need to read is The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson, book 3 of the Remnant Chronicles. So the next book here I've got is Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. This is the Waterstones edition, hence why it's like very shiny and very chunky. I really enjoyed Lady Midnight. I was pleasantly surprised because Cassandra Clare's books for me have been very miss. When I was younger they were very hit because I really loved it, but as I've gotten older I realised I hate the cheesy romance, stupid drama, and I just liked the world and the action. I was very pleasantly surprised by this. This is from the Dark Artifices series. The first one being Lady Midnight, the second being Lord of Shadows. And it's basically about this girl called Emma whose parents were killed, and she believes they were not killed by who everyone else thinks they were killed by, without giving any spoilers away. So she is basically on the hunt for that. As well, she is parabatai with this guy Julian, and parabatai means you have this warrior's bond between each other, and you should never fall in love with your parabatai. But she is in love with Julian because obviously romance drama. And I did really enjoy the first one. There's a character called Mark in it that's very kind of tortured. I love him, and like all of Julian's siblings and everything in it. I loved like the family theme of the first one. And I'm a bit cautious going into this one because romance drama has been set up to its highest setting, and I'm not a big fan of it. This is what turned me off like the Mortal Instruments series. I never bothered with the Clockwork one because what I heard from it I was like, I'm not dealing with that. And it just makes me very cautious about it. But I just loved the world, I loved the characters, and it just really frustrates me that Cassandra Clare feels the need to do this in every single one of her books. So I'm hoping she's learned and it's not as dramatic as I think it's going to be. But I am really looking forward to this because I really enjoyed Lady Midnight. It was just such a good read. So the next one on this list is Lord of Shadows, the second book in the Dark Artifices series by Cassandra Clare. So the next book I've got is Night Shadow by Sebastien de Castell. This is the second book in the Greatcoats series. I believe there are 4 books in this series, and I believe it has now been finished. And I loved the first book in this, which is Traitor's Blade. If you aren't aware of this book series, it revolves around 3 characters called Sebastien, Brasti and Castell. And they are called Greatcoats, and they're basically the king's men. But after the king dies, they are then disbanded, and they are then framed for a nobleman's murder, and they go work for this woman, and there's a lot of drama, a lot of corrupt politics, and I loved the first one because it was just such a really enjoyable adventure. It was just so wonderful to read, and I can't wait to get back into the series. I'm hoping to get at least the second book read by the end of the year, hopefully the third, because if I am right and it is now finished, it would be nice to just read all of them. And that's the last one on this list, so that's Night Shadow, book 2 in the Greatcoats series by Sebastien de Castell. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below if you've read any of these series. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!